Two minutes remaining in practice. Bowlers, please hold up. Practice is over. Just as a reminder, flash photography is not permitted during training competition. Brethren, we are ready to begin. Bowlers at the sound of the bell may begin. Good luck and good morning.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bowl TV. This is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith, and we are live here at the El Paso Convention Center at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. We are behind lanes 31 and 32 to watch 2014 regular all events winner Anthony LaCaze try to make tournament history by becoming the second bowler in 112 years of competition to win titles here at the Open Championships in 3 consecutive years. He came in last year as a defending Team All Events winner with his junior Team USA support team, and came away with individual success, grabbing the All Events title with a score of 2273. Last night he started his search for that 3rd consecutive win by helping his team into the lead in the regular team event with a 33-59 total. And the last bowler to achieve the feat was Les Zykes, 1962, 63, and 64. So a tall task here for Mr. LaCaze. You're going to see him step up in just a minute on lane 32 for his first shot here in doubles and singles. Again, the team took the lead last night with a big score, 33-59, 200 pins better than our previous leader. So these guys definitely have a terrific head start for Team All Events, of course, one of the most coveted titles here at the Open Championships. The one they won back in 2013. They'd love to get back on top. But sit tight and enjoy. There's a tickle of the two for Mr. LaCaze. Way to start the broadcast. Aaron Smith, how are you today?
Doing good, Matt, and welcome everyone back to Bowl TV. back-to-back days here for the 1 p.m. doubles and singles. And, yeah, a little excitement last night. So we're planning to do these guys regardless and have Tony's title defense, but they decided they wanted to give us a little bit to talk about today. So we'll keep track of their run at the team all events number, as you mentioned, along with everything else. Eric Vermilia. Oh, we already said his name. A big head start as well going towards regular all events, 762 to lead the way yesterday. 20 out of the last 21 strikes to finish up his performance with games of 270 and 279 after a 213 start. So, yeah. So this is one of those where everyone just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Well, Vermilia was able to put together a dream team of sorts. These guys come from 4 different states and don't see each other but once a year, or at least on the bowling lanes, and they really work hard together from a distance and do a lot of their homework and get ready for this event. They really gear up for it each year, and that certainly has shown with their run of top 50 finishes in the last 10 years. I know in Eric's debut in 2005, got a chance to talk to him, and coming off of a junior Team USA career, a Team USA member as well. Certainly the experience and the talent and putting together a cohesive group. And I think that's the most important thing, is the camaraderie and the teamwork that you'll see out of these guys, talking on every shot and helping each other through the ups and downs. And that's what it takes, and they've been close before. Actually, Eric and Jeffrey Mersch finished second in doubles back in 2010. They shot 1,500 and ended up losing to a pair of lefties that year, John Cryer and Steve Bone. But that only made them want it more. And then in 2013, they had a huge team event, went on to take the lead in team all events. Of course, they were already familiar with the experience of being in the lead. And Eric said it's a lot more fun when you go through it and you actually win at the end. Certainly a special accomplishment for them there, and you can see by the orange eagles on the scoreboard next to their names as well as on their shirts that they are very proud of that accomplishment. And then, as we said, they came back last year, had a terrific showing as the defending champs, had a 10th place finish in team all events, a little bit short, but they shot 10,000 again, and 10,000 certainly is a rare feat at the Open Championships, and they've done it in back-to-back years. Will it happen this year? It's going to take a lot of work. The 2 lane conditions in 2015, very challenging, but somebody has to win, and they'd love for it to be them. They have a great head start coming in. And Tony, of course, again, with the all events title last year, looking for 3 years in a row, and he would want nothing more than for that to be a team title, something that he could share with his teammates. And he said that coming in. You know, if he was lucky enough to achieve that feat, he would want it to be with his teammates. So we'll see. They have a good head start. The team all events lead this year, 93-93. ND Storm from North Dakota, the previous team leaders. So yesterday's team event, different lane condition. But I know these guys spent some time at the Bowlers Journal Championships this week, getting a look at this doubles and singles pattern. If you're curious about it, you can visit bowl.com/openchamp, click on the lane conditions tab, and get all the details.
A lot of good information there, Matt, and I had a chance to talk to Eric for a few minutes after the fact, and obviously a ton of success over the past few years, and you can look up there on the scoreboard and see, California, Michigan, Florida, Illinois. Eric's out of Las Vegas now, but I asked him, it's obviously, we had Jans HI, group out of Wisconsin, who pretty much bowl everything together, whether it starts at league, city tournaments, state tournaments, all the way up into nationals. So these guys have to do it a completely different way, being all across the country this often, the only time they get to see each other throughout the year. And Eric said just the communication between the group was just unbelievable last night. He said folks were, he said that as tough as they are, you had to make good shots and just had to, work with what the lane gave you. And They said when anyone seemed lost, everyone was just so on top of it, and as far as talking to each other, communicating what they were seeing out there, whether it was a good shot or a bad shot, or they think someone had to move. But yeah, so they have to do it a little more unconventionally to have their cohesiveness here, but they've certainly found a way to do it, and we'll see what they can do today.
Let's not forget about some other success on this pair as well. Matthew Tuckfield conquered a very challenging lane condition back in 2012, rolled a 300 game during doubles and singles in Baton Rouge. And Kristen Warzinski, the PBA West Region Rookie of the Year, recently bowled her first PBA 300, and today's her birthday. So what would be a better birthday present than some success here on Bowl TV at the USBC Open Championships.
All right, once again, we already mentioned some leading scores, so had a question or two in the chat room as well about it. Team all events over the course of the day, Novak, Mersch, Tuckfield, LaCaze, and Vermillion need to go plus 34 in their doubles and singles to take a share of the team all events lead. For Eric specifically, after 762, he would need a 1300 on the dot for a share of the all events lead currently held by Matt Smallin, North Dakota. Kristen, just mentioned her, having the birthday today. Also a perfect game over at the Women's Championships back in 2012, so only 25 ladies have that distinction, so that's a great class to be in as well.
Eric getting the pressure off early with the open frame in the first frame.
Says 30 clean is overrated anyway, so. $13.72 the number on top of doubles right now. Since that is the event we're kicking off with.
Well, we're already planning on talking to Anthony LaCaze after today's doubles and singles to get a kind of a recap on the weekend and his thoughts on coming in, trying to make it back-to-back all events titles. So why not let some of the other guys have some big scores as well, enhance that story a little bit, and give them something to go home and look forward to as they check the leaderboards online to see how things hold up.
The group has certainly gotten used to the weight over the past few years and understanding the fun of all that. And regardless of what happens on the lanes today, they'll get to do that one more time. So,
well, they had 33.59. Previous leader was 31.49, and they definitely left some pins out there. I know everybody says that when they come off the lanes. What could we have done different or better? And man, I wish I could have had those few frames back. But for right now, a big number for folks to shoot at coming in. Only 4 teams over the 3,000 mark here in 2015. So to go almost 3,400 is a pretty solid accomplishment. Still many, many great teams coming our way. More than 7,300 teams total headed to El Paso this year before we're said and done. We kicked off March 7th, and we'll be on the lanes 128 consecutive days until July 12th. And I think seeing that number yesterday only motivated teams more, knowing that it was out there, it was possible, And just things have to go right for you. Only get one shot at it.
Matt, you mentioned a few missed opportunities yesterday in games 1 and 2. They actually had, or each game they had 2 opens in the 10th. So obviously a lot of pins there, but they finished it up in style. The 10th frame of the 3rd game, a lot of emotion going into it, and 4 out of the 5 bowlers threw doubles in the 10th. 4 out of 5 of them struck in the 9th as well. So stepping into the 10th, 33-81 was their max score, and they walked away with 33-59. You can't ask for a much better 10th frame than that. Only giving away 22 pins. Certainly can get away from you quick in the 10th frame with an opener or 2 like that. So obviously they knew they left some out there, but definitely made a nice recovery at the end of the day to finish it off.
Well, and Aaron, going back to 2013, again, not a lot of people at the Open Championships can say they shot 1,500, didn't win doubles, and then to come back 3 years later and shoot 3,500 in team, which has only been done a handful of times, and not win team event. A very special class of teams there. But they didn't let that get to them. That was the thing about 2013, was that they could have left upset knowing that they got so close and came up a little bit short. Knowing that they did leave some out there, had a couple of mistakes. But they immediately told each other not to focus on what almost happened, but to consider the amazing head start they had on team all events going into the second day. And they didn't let that get into their heads one time. They didn't even have their equipment in the lockers before Matthew Tuckfield pointed that out. That's you need to look forward, not count the pins that you missed out there. And that really motivated them to come in bright and early, 7 a.m. in doubles and singles. And they just bowled extremely well and came away with a huge score, 10,247, and the win. So again, I'm sure similar yesterday. They're the front runners by a bunch. But it's only one step in their journey here. It's a 9-game marathon, and they understand that. They know that. And they already walked out of here last night focused on coming in today. Local champion Bobby Stives checking in here in the bleachers. Doubles champ back in 2006. The pride of El Paso. Just 2 local champs here. Roy Daniels, the other one, all events back in 2000. These guys are a little bit of a celebrity status here in 2015. And spent a lot of time down at the convention center checking out some top bowlers like we're doing right now. If you're just joining us, this is Matt Cannizzaro alongside Aaron Smith. We're live at the 2015 USBC Open Championships behind lanes 31 and 2. Watching 2014 regular all events champ Anthony LaCaze. There he is on lane 32, going high, leaving the 3-6. Well, I don't want to say he struggled a little bit last night, but he was the low guy in the lead-taking effort, shot 631. But I have a feeling he'll take 631 every single year if it means his team can be on top of the standings.
That's actually something that came up. Ran into Eric and Anthony 2 days ago. Eric was checking in the team. Anthony stopped by the office for a little bit. We were chatting. And, Anthony obviously receiving the treatment of coming back as a defending champion for the 2nd consecutive year and having his own march down center aisle. Obviously, they got to experience that last year, but still the jitters of the whole experience and taking it all in. And he kind of admitted that it was going to be, he actually said, Eric, he's like, once I get my feet settled, if I shoot 610 out here, that might be a lot this year. And Eric kind of mentioned, well, if you shoot 610 and that's low on the team, that'll work. And then Anthony's like, that'd be great. So he even got a few more pins than he originally said, and they left the team event how they wanted.
Well, Aaron, we talked about this yesterday with our team all events champs. Janssens HI. They came in looking to win back-to-back team all events titles, but with the excitement of the presentation and the march down center aisle and everybody with their eyes on you, of course, you got the targets on your back. And then coming out for those guys, seeing the Eagles on the scoreboard for the first time, having to turn around and focus immediately. Team all events, of course, is all 9 games, so a 45-game marathon. But there's no time. There's no warm-ups. There's no chance to give any frames away as if you were the doubles champ or the singles champ. I mean, you have to get to it from frame number 1, and sometimes that takes a little bit. There's certainly some butterflies and jitters and much higher expectations coming back as a champion. LaCaze experienced that last year, but it never goes away. And even last night, after they got done bowling, I talked to Vermilion for a minute, and he said even 15, 20 minutes later, it never gets old. And he was still shaking a little bit just from the adrenaline of polishing off that 279 game to catapult his team into the top spot.
Yeah, they definitely finished that game, like we said, finished that game off the right way last night. Eric was enjoying the moment, I'll say it like that. A lot of emotion from him down the stretch, getting those last few strikes and firing up his teammates as well with some fist pumps. But one of the interesting things in chatting with him, pretty much over the last 2 years as a team, these guys have went to the National Bowling Stadium and tossed up 3,500 the way it averaged out. So obviously scores a little bit lower so far this year, and even despite those big 3,500s, he's plainly said just much prouder of this performance out here in El Paso last night than even though the number wasn't as big as they've had in the past year. He realizes how tough they are this year, and just the way the team communicated and worked together was something special. And yeah, the nerves and afterwards and the excitement and certainly all there, and very cool thing to get to witness. These guys are not enjoying witnessing his 4 9s right now. That's at least the 3rd one so far. Novak's had 2. That's 1 for LaCaze.
Well, we have seen early on and at the Bowlers Journal Championships as well, which also features this doubles and singles lane condition, that when the lanes are fresh, back ends certainly are lively, and perhaps more hook, more friction than people expected looking at the graph. But with this Kegel ice oil, it tends to blend out relatively quickly, and they tighten up a little bit. But we'll see. These guys certainly have done their homework, and they spent some time at the BJ getting an idea, getting a feel for things. And a little head shaking, especially early on this fresh lane condition, not unusual. We saw it yesterday with Janssens HI. They came out and they struggled a little bit, a few of them, in doubles when it was fresh. But the lanes got really nice for them in singles. They had a terrific performance. They shot well over 3,200 for their singles event, and that helped them jump into 2nd place in team all events. So definitely with this test of versatility, the team that can figure out this doubles event and not give too many pins away is going to be the one that finds success. Certainly shots like that are going to help as Vermilion picks up the 210. We saw last night our highest opening game in the team event, 1070, and only got better each game after that. A lot of teams have come in and struggled early. We saw that with Indy Storm, our previous leader. They improved by almost 300 pins between game 1 and game 3. And all just a little bit of strategy and teamwork and communication, and things opened up for them. But when you only have 3 games to get it done, you got to figure it out quick and follow that transition.
Already mentioned only 4 teams plus. Obviously, they are the first team to be plus each game, and we had only seen one team actually crack the 1,000 barrier in the opening game group out Pennsylvania beginners to pros with Dan Vick and Brett Cunningham. Pretty solid team. They shot 1,005, so 1070 out of the gates was a big number. They put themselves in great position at the turn, needed less than 1,000, and then they, as the score suggested, they really turned it on the last game, almost averaged 240.
Well, they're almost known for big finishes now. And they've had 1,200 before in game number 3 to make a big jump. Again, in 10 years, 7 top 50 finishes for Vermillion. And more than likely, they're going to have a top 50 finish this year as well.
They might hang around.
So I know a lot of folks, they find us either on Facebook or on Twitter or by email or in the chat room. Very curious about what equipment folks are throwing. Of course, I would probably ask the same questions. From our vantage point, a little challenging to see, but in this case, I know Mr. Vermillion for sure posted his arsenal on Facebook, so if you're not Facebook friends with him, definitely track him down and get a little bit of insights. Again, very hard to tell from here. And after some teams bowl, they're more than happy to tell you what they did or what they threw, and sometimes not so much. Of course, they don't want to help you beat them. But Eric, very knowledgeable about bowling equipment. Now a district sales manager for Ebonite International, so certainly understands all of the equipment very well. So find him, ask questions. I'm sure he'd be glad to answer what he can. Right now, I can tell you, he's got a white dot in his hand. Spares very important, especially on these flatter, more challenging lane conditions.
I really don't think he wants to use that one a lot today, though.
Certainly didn't use it very much yesterday. Games of 213, 270, and 279. Definitely, if you're headed to El Paso this year, you should probably plan on shooting a couple spares while you're here. Warzinski up on 32, still without a strike here in doubles. Misses the head pin right. She is a Brunswick and Deviate staffer, so that's what's going to be in her bag today. Definitely seeing the challenge of this year's 39-foot sport bowling certified doubles and singles lane condition. Might take a minute for things to blend out and for those back ends to calm down, but if you'd like to take a look at the graph and get some ideas, you can visit bowl.com/openchamp. All the details are there. A lot of good discussions on the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page. Kick things off on March 7th, so a lot of players already have been through and at home sharing news about their experiences. Nice crowd giving us part of their Saturday afternoon on Bowl TV. We appreciate everybody joining us. If you're late to the party, this is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. We're live at the 2015 USBC Open Championships in El Paso, Texas. I have not said Reno one time. I think this is 5 for 5 so far. I'd like to keep that streak going.
I'm going to say Reno a lot in the next few days, so just so you know.
That's right. Aaron Smith headed to the biggest little city in the world this week to help ring in the start of the 2015 USBC Women's Championships and the new USBC Mixed. So things get kicked off there April 10th and will run until July 30th. Ladies, remember, there's still time to sign up. Hopefully we'll see you at the National Bowling Stadium. And bring your friends, the new Mixed. 4-player teams, 2 men, 2 women, mixed doubles and singles as well. So an opportunity for everybody to travel together. It's kind of a gateway event, the Mixed, to give some bowlers of any skill level an opportunity to experience the championship feel and look. Maybe a little more laid back than the Open Championships here, but certainly a stepping stone for those newcomers. 4 divisions in teams, 6 divisions in doubles and singles. So something for everybody. Head that way, check it out, and then get a taste of it before getting ready for next year's USBC Open Championships. We'll have live coverage from the Women's Championships this year. We have 3 trips planned so far. So we'll be out there and checking out the action in person. You can find the schedule for live streaming this year on bowl.com. First strike for Kristen Warzinski. She's on the board in the 9th frame. The rest of the live stream schedule on the information tab on the Open Championships page. It's Champions Month here in April. We saw our Team All Events champs yesterday and the day before. And now, of course, Anthony LaCaze about to step up on lane 32, the defending regular All Events winner. And coming up on April 14th, our record-holding 2014 team champion, Artistic Expressions. So keep an eye out for that. Also, big day on April 14th. Don Ellis will be in town to celebrate 65 years here at the Open Championships. And somebody else is born that day.
Derek Oaf. That's who.
Oh, is that who?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought you were going to say Aaron Smith because he's on that squad as well.
I just wanted to make you work extra hard that day, that's all.
So many celebrities, so I'll get some entertainment while we're entertaining the bowling world on Bowl TV. So check out the schedule. A lot coming up in the month of April. And you can find all the recaps, news, and notes on bowl.com or daily highlights on the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page. Or some behind-the-scenes stuff. Matt Cannizzaro, USBC. And on Twitter, at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron.
Mersh and Vermillion looking to recapture some of that 2010 magic here. As I say that, Eric goes big 4, but both of them off to a pretty solid start. 1372 on top of doubles. Tom Woodworth and Jeremy Sonnenfeld. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Put that number up a few weeks ago. It's held on so far.
Again, going back to 2013, some changes at the Open Championships have given us fresh lane conditions for every single squad, and of course the challenge of 2 different oil patterns, one for team event, one for doubles and singles. And another change going to 6 on a pair instead of 4. Slows down the pace a little bit for some of our older competitors and gives teams a chance to work together, play together, and stay on the same pair for 6 consecutive games rather than wait for the next pair to finish so they can flip-flop. So a little more time on the lanes means a chance to enjoy the Open Championships experience to its fullest. shout outs in our chat room today. Chris Hester, welcome back. One of our favorite left-handers. Greg Zika, two-time champion here at the Open Championships. Daryl Richardson, Dave Armstrong checking in. And Sean Petty, always a big supporter of this event. So welcome everybody. Tell all your friends. We're definitely going to see some great bowling today. We're going to hear a lot from these guys in the next 40 or 50 years or so. Youngsters finding success here on the biggest stage.
We've talked a lot about, obviously, Junior Team USA Support 1. The companion team certainly no slouches either, and a team made up of all young ladies.
Most of these bowlers at some point with Junior Team USA experience, or collegiate bowling. So they've certainly gone through the ranks from being top youth bowlers, worked their way up. Some PBA experience as well. Anthony LaCaze with one PBA national title a few years back. Talked about Kristen being a West Region Rookie of the Year. And you can find Novak at all the top amateur events around the country. And the one common factor, I think, with all those is that these guys challenge themselves with a variety of difficult lane conditions, focused on accuracy, making good shots, and picking up spares. And it certainly shows when they come to the Open Championships.
That's certainly a reason these guys have become household names here at the Open over the past few years. And as you said, no reason for them to slow down anytime soon. All just kids.
Yesterday during the team event, 3 left-handers on the pair. 2 of the ladies, as well as Jeffrey Mersch. Today, Mersch, the lone left-hander on 31 and 32. Not slowing him down too much. Working on a 3-bagger here heading into the 10th.
Nice break for Vermilya. Definitely didn't like that one off his hand, but sure he will not argue the result. Gives him a chance for 211. And the opener here, Mersch, 243 still available.
Aaron, you talked about how important those 10th frames are, and Vermillion steps up with 3 in the 10th to finish off 2-11 game. Not a bad start for him and Merce. Again, they were the runners-up in doubles back in 2010. Held on for quite a while and ended up second. It took 15-14 to win that year. They had 15:07. Only made him more motivated coming in 2011. Merce finishes with 220. 431. Novak and LaCaze 390. Wojcinski and Tuckfield 336. So game 2 coming right up.
So they got the plus that game. There's only one over, but it was still plus. So 1,001 that game. Once again, they needed to go plus 34 for the day to take a share of the team all events lead. Ball change there for Tuckfield. Brings the 10 to start.
Bugsy Kelly checking in. Go way back with him. Used to work with us at USBC. Bugsy, hope things are going well for you. Look forward to seeing your team out here. Another talented group. Aaron's leaving town at the right time. It's going to get crazy. So many great bowlers coming our way.
Good to see a lot of that here in Bowl TV, even though I won't be around. I'm sure you'll find some guests willing and able to fill my lofty status here. But coming up next on Bowl TV for us, April 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 local time, Motion Plus Lanes. Our runners-up last year in the team event. Mentioned April 14th already. Zeno Garcia and his crew. Pete Thomas, Jimmy McMartin, Anthony Lavery Spar, and Ted Pritz, Artistic Expressions 1, defending their team title the following day. Derek Oaf. I don't think they're called the Clone Huskers anymore, but that was a cool name, so we'll see their doubles and singles.
Well, one of their former teammates, Chad Oakes, recently bowled the first and only perfect game of the 2015 USBC Open Championships, adding his name to the growing list of Nebraska alumni with perfect games here. Derek Oaf has one. Rob Gottschall has 2. Adam Cardwell with an 800 series here. So looking forward to seeing all of those great bowlers come our way. And a few already said hello in the chat room here that they're going to be here around that time. So anybody interested in joining me on the live stream broadcast, send me a note, and we'll see if we can get you in here.
We should have a contest.
I can't imagine that the world will want to listen to the sweet sounds of Matt Cannizzaro for 4 hours solo. So please, if you're headed this way, and any of those broadcasts sound even remotely interesting, feel free to grab a headset. Just let me know you're coming. No doubt, all of those people we've mentioned so far are much more insightful than myself, so. Say hello to Amanda Vermillion as well, checking in. and formerly part of this group, and had a very emotional retirement on the lanes at the Open Championships in the midst of their success, and got a chance to hear from her on camera, and clearly a very special day for her, but a little bit sad at the same time. I know we'll probably see her back again soon. Can't keep her away.
Great shot from Novak there. Early double.
Here's LaCaze on lane 32. High flush for the double. He shot 631 last night in the team event. Going to have a lot of work to do if he's going to catch Matt Smolin, who is on top of the all-event standings this year with 2062. He's also going to have to keep up with Eric Vermilya, who shot 762 last night and started doubles here with 211.
Eric needs 1,300 on the nose today for a share of the regular all events lead. So chipping away at it early on here. 11 pins closer.
But Aaron, I have a feeling if it means that Vermilya will be the one to deny LaCaze back-to-back all events titles, I think that will be okay.
I think Tony would let that one slide, so. Going back to last year, LaCaze put on a show in doubles and singles, after around 765 in team. Put up 766 in doubles. He must have got tired in singles.
Slacked off.
Only shot 742 on his way to 2273, the fourth highest score all time in tournament history.
Well, can you rattle off the top three?
I think I can.
I taught you well. I think you can too.
Some guy out of Minnesota, lefty, Matt McNeil, back in 2010. It's kind of cheating because I can look at the banner right there, but 23-26 the year before. Ron Vokes, 23-21. And back in Billings, Montana, Stephen Hardy, 22-79.
There you have it, folks. I've taught Aaron everything I know, so I can gracefully bow out, and Aaron can take over.
Can't put down a 2-pound steak though yet, so I still got to work on that. So we still need you around.
Just be the guy that makes sure there's no leftovers. Appreciate everybody stopping by here. This is game 2 of doubles, and we'll be here for the rest of doubles, and then all 3 games of singles. You're watching live coverage of the 2015 USBC Open Championships from the El Paso Convention Center. A fantastic build here. We came in first week of January to an empty room, concrete floors and 4 walls, and in 64 days added 52 main lanes for the Open Championships. That includes the world's largest mobile scoreboard, championship banners in the rafters, and of course the famed center aisle. And then just past lane 1, we have our secret lane maintenance lane, and next to that 10 showcase lanes. And that's your opportunity to get a look at both lane conditions at this year's event, whether it's a team practice session on the team pattern or the doubles and singles pattern at the Bowlers Journal Championships. So certainly a lot to see and do under this roof, and as always, Vendor Row, your opportunity to pick up bowling equipment or apparel, and a terrific concessions area, the Showcase Cantina, a bar and snack bar with some delicious Southwest cuisine, or grab a sandwich or a snack and a beverage, watch some bowling, check out the leaderboards, or head outside to the sunshine here in Sun City. The Strike Zone food truck right out front. I think Aaron Smith just got a giggle from Bugsy Kelly's comment about being in the AOL chat room. And it's funny because some of us still have AOL email addresses even.
Who could that be? Matt Canizaro?
It's timeless. There's nothing like the sound of "You've Got Mail."
You got a strike there from Matt Tuckfield, first of game 2 there. Warsinski rolls the 2. Need a few hits like that along the way as well to make your way up the standings.
LaCaze high flush again, can't get the 9 out. So his run here ends at 3 in a row. I feel like he's just getting lined up though, Aaron. He's 4 solid shots right there, and we're seeing the back ends calm down a little bit. Steve Novak also on 3 in a row, had a couple 4-9s there in game number 1 on the fresh.
Well, these guys know a thing about patience too, and waiting it out. In 2013, on their way to that 35-21, they barely cracked 1,000 the first game, and then put up back-to-back 1200s and waited it out and let the pattern come to them, and that was actually part of the game plan. They just hoped to avoid the big mistakes in game 1, and they knew they'd have an opportunity later on to put together some strikes if they executed the right way. And almost took home a team title. Did get the team all events crown though.
And a lot of close calls that year. You just never know. Of course, again, everybody comes off the lanes thinking they left something out there, and then you have to sweat it out. And a couple teams challenged them back in 2013, but of course they were able to hold on. And hoping that yesterday's head start in the team event either leads to a team title or potentially team all events as well. We saw that in 2009, Lynn's Limited. Shot big team number, came back the next day, kept things going, took home both titles.
Crafty vets.
Crafty vets finding their way into the Hall of Fame even. 4 of the 5 after this year will be in the USBC Hall of Fame. Gary Darashevsky, Gus Yanaris, Lenny Boris, and Dale Traber.
They're all right.
Not a bad group right there. Ryan Lever, their 5th.
He's pretty good too.
So a lot of great moments in our time here at the Open Championships. We already had a couple here in El Paso. Got to celebrate 70 years with Sylvester Thiel. Started his career back in 1940. Became the third bowler to reach 7 decades on the championship lanes. And 2 weeks after that, just a couple days ago, Hall of Famer Bill Lillard became the all-time pinfall leader at the Open Championships. Relegated to a one-step approach and a plastic 12-pound ball. Nothing slowed him down. He's now on top of the career pinfall list with 124,087. And that took him 68 consecutive years, but he got there, has averaged just under 200 for his career. And already making plans to join us next year in Reno with the family, as he edges closer to that magic participation number of 71 years. So it's not all about big scores here at the Open Championships. We mix in some of those heartwarming moments as well.
Four out of 5 for Steve Novak here in game number 2. Can LaCaze match? Hit high, leaves the 4-pin.
Right now, I think LaCaze wishing this pattern was about a foot longer. So everything high flush. 9-pin last frame, 4-pin this frame. Thankfully for him, not a 4-9 at the same time.
Did that last game though.
Nice break there for Merce as the 6-7 go late.
Bet you have a few of those saved up for June.
Certainly hope so.
Hester hopes not, but
if I can get within 100 pins of Merce and Hester, I feel like it'll be a successful year.
Vermillion notches the strike in the 5th frame. While we have the opportunity, we'd like to recognize our gold industry partners here for 2015 Columbia 300 Hammer, Kegel, and Storm. Appreciate all they do for us here at the Open and Women's Championships.
we joked earlier in the year with Vermillion that we were going to see if we could go the entire live stream without saying his name once.
Whoops.
But after he shot 762 last night, it was kind of hard not to mention him by name.
There's always next year. It's like being a Cubs or Bears fan. Beating Matt Cannizzaro at the Open. Mersch yet to strike on 31 this game. Perfect on 32 though. Can he get his first double? Tuckfield didn't feel that one was going to be good, so he said try again in a little bit. Looks like he's switching back to the ball he started it with, so really hasn't gotten anything going yet today. .652 yesterday.
Again, this Kegel Ice Oil that these guys are pulling on made its tournament debut back in 2013 as well. Yeah, certainly changed the game a little bit. Designed to hold up a little bit longer, transition less. Just enough to mix him up for a three-bagger. Jeff Mersch. Vermillion looking to add one of his own. Eric definitely not afraid to get animated out there after a few strikes. You mentioned yesterday at the end of that, obviously 20 out of the last 21 strikes, you're going to be feeling it, and it was fun to watch the last few shots. Was greeted on the approach with a big hug from Mr. Tuckfield. Well, everybody has a role on the team, and Vermillion, aside from being the spokesperson, also the kind of the spark plug. And he's averaging well over 220 in his tournament career. believe this is year number 11 for him, but many solid performances in such a short time. He's not afraid of that 1900, 2000 number.
He's only fell under 1900 once in his career. It was 2006 in Corpus Christi. 1893, it's kind of close.
Very Mike Shady-like. Mike, in his career, now over 20 years, at 20 years, has never fallen below 1900.
I think this will be number 24.
That's
Mr.
true.
Shady.
They'll make him our lifetime average leader, most likely, after this year's event. He also is in the 222, 223 range.
Yeah, through 10 years here at the Open Championships of Vermilion, 221.9 career average.
762 last night, certainly going to help that number.
Certainly so. That was his highest set ever at the Open as well. So, previous highest 758 in that doubles performance in 2010. And we've talked a lot about 2104, his career high for all events. If he set a new high this year, he'd be leaving with a little bit more.
If you have any questions you think we can answer, feel free to drop those in the chat room. If we don't know, we'll certainly be glad to make something up. And if you don't feel comfortable in the public forum, you can find us by email or on Facebook or Twitter. Always glad to help.
See, I'm not Amigo Man, Matt. I can't be two places at once.
Only in your dreams, sir. We'll make that happen for you.
Graced in the presence of the Amigo Man. Just telling Kristen to shake off that 4-9. Foundation frame underway here, game 2 of doubles. Junior Team USA support number 1. Tuckfield throws everything but the kitchen sink over at the 7. Does not cooperate.
Question in the chat room. There's been 1-300 here. Chad Oakes from Minnesota, our singles leader, 772. And that is the highest series of this year's event, actually. Vermilion, 762 in the team event.
It's not bad. Terrence Reeves, early on in the tournament, put up a 740 in team event, I think 47-48. He's still in the top 10 for regular all events. 2062 on top of the leaderboard. The mixer for Novak.
All right, so getting ready to wrap things up here in game number 2. 10th frame coming right up. Mersch and Vermillion still bowling well. Big number on top of doubles though, 1372.
They're plus 31 Vermillion and Mersch after game 1. They're going to add on to that. They're going to need a. They're going to have a shot at it. Might be a big number. We saw Tim Jans and Andy Bunkowski have to go about 520 to get there yesterday in game 3 of doubles. That was a tipping point for Andy. Finished doubles with 250, then started singles 259, 268. Fell a little bit short of Oak's number. Finished 736, I believe, to lead Jans HI.
Ball change on the field for Tuckfield. Just wants to take a look at something different. He finishes with 192. Saw Tony LaCaze leave a 9-pin followed by a 4-pin a few frames back, and sees both of them standing up here in the 10th, the second one of the day.
going to take the one, 224. The ever popular pocket 7-9. Yikes. Still a little angle out there, I guess. Not much you can do after that except smile and shake your head, so.
That's one they're going to talk about for a while. Give him a hard time, but came after getting the first one in the 10th.
Definitely the important shot there, so.
He'll be in the 220s as well, so not a bad game. Plus 45 that game for LaCaze and Novak.
8:35 through 2. Steve flexing to the crowd after that one. Another
again, 3 in the 10th.
Another double.
Coming right up.
So we'll see if Mersch can match the feet here. 239 out there for him, 226 for Vermillion. Delivers. All right, area check there.
Aaron, back in 2013 when these guys won Team All events, Tuckfield was actually on the other pair of lanes. And Vermillion's pair got done first. Tuckfield needed only about 53 pins his last game to take the lead in Team All events. He got that and a bunch more, of course. And we see the other half of their group about to wrap up doubles completely. One pair to the right. And even once they were done, even last night, just a very supportive group. Everybody always there to watch every shot and offer advice, as Vermillion mentioned in his interview. It's all about the team from start to finish.
We'll have their team update in just a second here.
No doubt making a nice move there, second game of doubles.
1098 looks like, so at this point, if they're going in the plus-minus way, they're already beyond what they needed for today, so it's just a matter of staying par for the course. Obviously, they want to do a little bit better than that. And 480 is the number right now for Vermillion and Mersch to take a share of the doubles lead, so put up a few 240s.
A lot happening all at once, of course. The short-term goal is doubles 1372, the number on top, and the big picture team all events 93-93. ND Storm leading the way. Junior Team USA support already above that number, plus or minus wise. So if they can keep on going, they're just going to raise the bar. And we'll have a recap for you on bowl.com later today. If you are just stopping by, this is Game 3 of doubles here. You're watching live coverage from the 2015 USBC Open Championships. Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. We are behind lanes 31 and 32 here at the El Paso Convention Center. Great score so far. These guys leading the team event 33-59 last night. Back today to try to finish things off. Last game of doubles underway. Singles coming up next. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, definitely drop those into the chat room or reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter. We'll be glad to answer what we can.
Why do you lie to the people, Matt? I'm behind 31-2. You're behind 33-4. Ha.
Well, certainly like to spread out. Don't want to be too close to you.
That's true. That would be weird. Interesting setup for us this year. For those of you who saw the setup the past few years in Reno, a little more luxurious for us, but we make it work. Tucked away in the behind the bleachers for this bird's eye view. Pair to our right, Kyoko McDonald, part of the companion team, putting up a nice number here to kick off doubles. Holy cow, Novak's throwing pins everywhere. But 225, 201 to start. She still has 250s out there. Here she's getting ready to step up in the 9th frame. You'll see her up on lane 33. You'll at least get to see the ball head down the lane, so.
Cause another 9-pin. 4 and a 9 and a 4 and a 9 and a 4-9.
It's
a little more push down the lane there.
Well, the way I recall last year, in talking with those guys, Vermilia was kind of in that boat where he was all around the pocket and just couldn't get all 10 to fall down. This year, Eric's getting the hits. Tony's taking one for the team, making his spares, and just gotta see if he starts getting some hits. Already seen Vermilion make one 210 conversion today. Just got a few extra companions up there this time. No 4 and 9 there for LaCaze, but now a 7-pin just for variety at this point. Mersch saws the nickel. Cannizzaro, you better be taking notes here. It's going to him and Vermilion need it. 480 for a share of the regular doubles lead. 1372 up on top. Made the turn at 892.
Nice break there for Vermilion, tripping the 4 and the 9.
See, he's stealing Tony's hits.
Well, LaCaze and Novak not too far behind. And Novak starting with 3 in a row here in game 3.
They fell just short of taking the doubles lead last year as well. Obviously, Tony had the big set, 766. They fell a few pins short, but definitely the stepping stone for Tony to take home the all events title. .242 for Kyoko McDonald for 668 in doubles. Her and Brandy Sanderson finish up 1239 overall, so that's just outside the top 10. Sanderson made a run at the Women's Championships last year, led singles for, well, she didn't lead for very long, but still had a top 5 score. I think she actually finished tied for 3rd overall in the Diamond Division. Novak looking for 4 in a row. Delivers.
Steve, no stranger to the 2100 range either. Again, all these guys very talented and accomplished, and any one of them a threat to shoot a huge number. And they seem to share the glory a little bit. Back in 2010, it was Mersch and Vermiglia. In 2012, Tuckfield in the 300 game during doubles and singles. 2013, of course, the team all events title. Novak leading the way.
21:53.
And then last year, LaCaze stepping into the spotlight with the regular all events win. And Vermiglia, just the heartbeat, and plugging along. It's certainly slow and steady. And I don't think there's a bigger surprise than the day the Team All Events trophy showed up at Eric's desk at headquarters back when he worked at USBC. Had no idea that was coming. Thought the Eagle was it, but in fact, there's so many more things involved. Yesterday, LaCaze presented his championship watch for his win. Eagle he already had at home. And of course, the orange Eagles on the scoreboard next to their names. They'll be there for life.
Yeah, Team All Events gets the Earl Anthony Trophy. We got to see that with Jans HI just the other day, so.
Definitely when you come our way, check out the trophy case. A lot of great things in there. Of course, the Joe Norris Trophy given to our team champion. We have an Eagle. A crystal pin for knocking down 100,000 pins here at the Open Championships, as well as some of our participation awards. The 20-year pad folio, 25-year plaque, 50-year diamond and gold lapel pin, 55-year watch, 60-year diamond and gold money clip, a custom ring for 65 years, and still Theo this year got to take home the very first Crystal 70-year award. And if you missed that, you can catch the recap on bowl.com or on Facebook. Video picking up 200,000 views. And many congratulations for Still on 70 years.
Novak looking for 5 in a row. Connects. Again, we want to thank everyone for joining us. More than 600 watching live right now on Bowl TV. Appreciate the continued support here. We'll be here all year in El Paso, as well as Reno for the USBC Women's Championships. So please let folks know you're watching us on social media. If you want to follow us on social media, USBC Sport of Bowling is on Facebook, facebook.com/USBC, on Twitter @USBC. Of course, bowl.com. Didn't have to worry about that one not striking. Splits the 8-9.
So we saw yesterday on our broadcast of Jans' HI. The lanes opened up nicely for the group. Scores got progressively better and had a terrific singles set. Of Of course, always the hope and expectation that when they're fresh and a little bit tougher, they'll break down and be able to use that to your advantage. A lot of folks stopping in the chat room. Hello. Welcome. Of course, all the big questions we can't answer. What's somebody throwing? Very hard to tell from up here, especially with some of these newer balls. They're all solid black.
They're going old school, Matt.
Some a little more recognizable. But I'm sure if you guys reach out to the players after they're done, perhaps they'll be glad to share some of the details. Maybe not all of them.
Kaz wanted that one. A little fist pump afterwards. So much at stake for LaCaze here. Looking to become just the second player in tournament history to win a title 3 years in a row. Hoping to match USBC Hall of Famer Les Zykes. A feat that hasn't been done in a long, long time. 50
I know you
years.
say I'm old, but that was even before my time.
Holy cow, that's possible.
1962, 63, and 64 for Mr. Zykes on his way to the USBC Hall of Fame. And we saw him just the other day. He was here on the same days as Bill Lillard. Mr. Zykes, a member of our 60-year club and 100,000 pinfall club. So perhaps in 50 years we'll be saying the same thing about Mr. LaCaze. And Merce needing 480 coming into this game to get a piece of the singles lead, or doubles, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's still out there with that 4-6. Leaves their max at 482 by my math, so not much room for error from here on out.
All right, well, Novak and LaCaze weren't far behind coming into this game, and Novak now with the front six. So they can make a move here as well. Aaron, the man with the calculator. 1372 is what we're looking for. Jeremy Sonnenfeld and Tom Woodworth from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Kaz and Novak, 537 for a share of the lead. So also don't have much room to work with. Four out of 5 for Tuckfield. He's starting to get it going here.
Guys, big picture, team all events, number on top, 93-93. And they're already surpassed plus 400. And it's going to be a matter of adding to that, or at least hanging on for the next 3.5 games.
5:58 still out there for Novak and LaCaze, so they could have 1-9 spare and still get a share of the lead. Otherwise, you strike till the fill ball. There's the 9 count, so. Never a doubt, front 7.
So we're watching things behind the scenes here from up top. Lane monitor just called center desk to let him know that Mr. Novak had the front 7, and the center desk letting the rest of the building know in case they want to come out and check out a run at perfection. Even tournament manager Dwayne Hagan stopping by to see what's going on here on lanes 31 and 32.
All right, Mercian Vermillion.
I have no doubt that Vermillion has the number in his head. He's a numbers guy.
Eric, no, never.
I mean, of course, the goal is just to get everyone every time. But I would not be surprised if he knows right now that they actually do need every single one. Almost 700 tuning in to watch today's broadcast. We appreciate it. Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. Tell your friends. Give us part of your Saturday. You will not be disappointed. Some terrific bowlers on the lanes. Junior Team USA Support 1 2013 Team All Events winners. And your new team leaders here at the 2015 event.
33-59 last night. Big number here early on. Jumped more than 200 pins ahead of the pace.
As they make their run at Team All Events this year, it could potentially be another situation where it won't be if, but by how many. And can they raise the bar high enough as they did in 2013? Still a long way to go at this year's event. We kick things off March 7th, and we'll have 128 consecutive days of competition concluding July 12th. More than 7,300 teams headed our way. About 40,000 bowlers headed to Sun City to take a shot at this year's 2 challenging lane conditions. If you're curious about those, you can find them at bowl.com/openchamp, along with some other great information about this year's event.
All right, LaCaze keeping their doubles hopes alive. He's talking to his hand after that one, saying, "Get on the horse, ball." Novak unable to roll the 2.
Their doubles bid, according to the fine mathematical calculations, comes to an end, as well as Vermillion and Mersch with that 8 count. Eric goes high, leaves the 3-6. So unofficially, we will not have a new doubles leader here. But every pin, one step closer to a second Team All Events title in 3 years. Guys throwing a variety of bowling balls. This one going down the lane, that's a white dot by Columbia. I can tell you that much for sure.
So green though.
A good variety of many brands represented on the rack here. Hammer, Ebonite, Columbia, Track, Deviate, radical. We're seeing a little bit of everything. Knocking down pins. Mersh, a little bit wide left. Working on a string of strikes. Nice spare pickup there. If anything, these guys are doing a fine job with these splits and washouts today.
Very true. I haven't seen too many of those end up with an open frame at this point. So once again, the hits you need to obviously the talent and the shot making is there, but you can catch a few breaks like that along the way too. It's all a part of it. All right, foundation, frame, third game. Here we go.
Well, Aaron, so many things have to fall into place to find success here at the Open Championships. Some say lightning in a bottle. But more than likely, you're going to have the day of your life if you're going to take home a title here at the big show. These guys in 2013 and 14, 4 different sport bowling certified lane conditions. They've averaged more than 225 as a group. That's a pretty spectacular number. Back-to-back years with 10,000 in team all events, and off to a terrific start last night in the team event 33-59. Well on their way to really setting the pace here in 2015.
Another 2-pin for Novak. Been waiting for him to roll one. I've been saving something up. He's got to do it though. I'm not going to say it unless he rolls something. And all of his messengers are so very violent that rolling wouldn't be fair, so it's got to be a 2-pin. Then I'll say it, and then you'll look over here and you'll just shake your head because it's that bad.
I said that in the first frame.
Tickled the 2?
I did indeed.
Oh, I missed my chance.
Got it out of the way early while you were still getting situated over there. Final frames coming up here of doubles, singles coming up next. Thanks for joining us. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live at the El Paso Convention Center.
See them all chatting right now. We saw Novak go light back-to-back shots. Kazan and Vermilia through the nose, so communication that was so vital last night coming into play again. Can't let it away for too far, or for too many frames. Pair to our right, Brandy Sanderson. 7 out of 8 to start singles so far. Brandy makes it 8 out of 9 on lane 34. She'll be up in the 10th frame in just a moment on 33. She's one of the 3 lefties on the pair last night.
Big finish here for Tuckfield. Just gonna grab something different for the fill ball again here as he gets ready for his singles. $1,300 on the nose, still out there for LaCaze and Novak until another 9-pin for our defending all events champion. Novak's going to be in the 260s. Might have shorted them a few pins, actually. Looks like 1309 still out there. Come on, Smith. Get your stuff together.
Slacking. Back-to-back days of live streaming. Can't take it.
There's one of those hits back. Novak caves the big 4 for 268 and 680. Progressively better. LaCaze going to finish things up here. His final shot on lane 31.
Makes a ball change and finds the pocket. 206, 629. So 1309 for LaCaze and Novak. It's a big number so far here. It's a top 5 score. $13.08, I believe, for Mersch and Vermillion if they both throw all 3.
have the final tally for you in just a few minutes after these guys are done with doubles, and then we'll get ready for 3 exciting games of singles. And this crowd never disappoints. We appreciate everybody stopping by. Again, we're watching last year's regular all events champ, Anthony LaCaze, try to make it back-to-back wins in 3 consecutive years. And these guys already the team leaders, 33-59 last night, and making a nice push in team all events here. So stay tuned for the tally as we race toward the end of this 9-game marathon.
So 1296 for Vermilya and Mersch. So 1309 currently good for 3rd overall. 1296 will be move them into 5th.
All right, so scoreboard already changed. Singles about to get underway. They're going to talk game plan here very quickly before Tuckfield and Warzinski start things off. Nice head start in the team all events last night. And a pretty solid doubles effort today. 2 top 10 performances. Aaron typing feverishly on the calculator. And as he wraps that up, we'll get ready for our first station identification. Certainly want to thank our gold partners, Columbia 300, Storm, Kegel, and Hammer Bowling, making all this possible. And Aaron's got the numbers, so here we go.
All right, 11:21 in Game 3 doubles for Junior Team USA Support 1. So a 32-20 overall effort. Once again, they only need to go plus 34 today. They're already plus 220, so just a matter of filling frames at this point to take the lead, but they certainly want more than that. After 6 games, Vermilya is high on the team, 1368. Followed by Mersch, 1342, Novak, 1332, Tuckfield, 1277, and our defending all events champion, Anthony LaCaze, starts off with a strike, 1260. Those are scores through team and doubles. 2062 currently on top of the regular all events total. Vermilya, the closest, needs a 694 for a share of the lead. For LaCaze, the defending all events champion, need a bit more than that, 802 to move ahead of the number posted by Matt Smallin about 10 days ago, and also put him into the doubles lead, or singles lead, excuse me. 772 up on top. over on 33 and 4. Talking about Brandy Sanderson. She finished up game 1 in singles 255. Started game 2 strike, spare, and looking for another spare here. Actually, you can see the 3-5-6 standing up there. Only 4 bowlers on 33 and 34 today, so they're bowling a little bit quicker. So for a share of the team all events lead, these guys will just need a 28-14, which is equivalent to a 187 and change average. They need to hold together here for the final 3 games.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining us here for the second half of today's broadcast. Singles underway. Aaron gave you the rundown of where these guys are. In a very good position to set the bar pretty high for team all events. Already the team leaders. And while LaCaze may not leave as the all events leader, I think he'd be okay with the possibility of 2 more Eagles with his team. Only one other player in history has won 3 consecutive years. Les Zykes, 62, 63, and 64 on his way to the USBC Hall of Fame. LaCaze, of course, team all events in 13 and regular all events last year. So we will see how high that number will go and if it will be enough to hold on here in 2015. Thanks for stopping by. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. Feel free to drop us any questions that we can answer. I know a lot of people are curious about what equipment we're seeing today, and just a little bit hard to tell for the most part from our vantage point, but feel free to reach out to the players after they're done today. Then you can put all those pieces together. Maybe go back and watch the broadcast. And if you'd like to see any of our previous broadcasts from this year, including yesterday's Team All Events champion, Janssens HI, you can find that all on Bowl TV. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and you'll get all the updates when something's coming up. We got an action-packed April and May. A lot of terrific teams coming to town. That schedule is available at bowl.com/openchamp. we're already looking towards next year. So if you have any suggestions on who you'd like to see on Bowl TV, feel free to let us know. We've got a list going in the office already, and we'll keep an eye on when teams come through. Of course, it's all about timing usually. A couple other great things coming up in the next few months. The start of the Women's Championships and USBC Mixed on April 10th. We'll have some coverage from there later in the year. Lucas Wiseman and Aaron Smith will head to the Intercollegiate Team and Singles Championships later in April. We have the USBC Queens in May. So a lot happening. Check it out. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Top single score, 772, Chad Oakes. And that effort included 17 strikes to start in our only 300 game of this year's event. Our all events leader, Matt Smallin, had 299 in team competition. He leads the all event standings with 2062. Singles moving along, getting close to the halfway point of game number 1 here. If you missed any of today's broadcast, it'll be archived later today, and the recap will be available on bowl.com. Aaron's going to go down and talk to Anthony LaCaze and get his thoughts on this year's title defense. And, of course, the potential for 2 more Eagles here in 2015, another unprecedented run. We saw Matt McNeil find a nice run of success here in 2010 through 2012. That included 3 wins for him, 2 all events titles, and a doubles crown. A lot of great storylines over the last 5 or 6 years, and nobody completely hogging the spotlight, which is cool. A lot of great moments. And some new faces, including last year, the highest team score in tournament history, 37-20. Artistic Expressions won. They'll be back on the lanes April 14th. Looking forward to seeing what they can do here on this year's lane conditions. On April 10th, Motion Plus lanes coming this way, and for a minute, they owned the highest team score in history, 35-61. Ended up finishing second last year, and definitely won some redemption. Talked to Chad Kloss a little bit yesterday, and they are fired up, getting ready to hit the road in the next couple days, and actually driving down. So getting a chance to see part of the country. Nice, relaxing 28-hour drive or whatever.
It's a bit of a trek.
Say, with the adrenaline and the anticipation, a lot to think about and a lot of excitement to make that trip go pretty quickly. However, the ride home is either going to be awesome or torture. So,
had that conversation with Chris Pounders, who was our all events leader for a little while. They also coming from Wisconsin. Definitely made the it's going to make the drive a lot better on the way back. Now you put together a nice performance here on the lanes. And Chris is still one of just 3 players to crack the 2,000 mark so far here at the 2015 event. Matt Small in 2062, Camden Rokita 2016, and Mr. Pounders was at 2008. Though we have a few guys threatening here on lanes 31 and 2 to get there. Vermillion needs a 694 for a share of the individual all events lead. 26 pins away Mersch, 36 pins away Novak.
well, I imagine if they can all find their way into the top 5 in individual all events, it's going to be hard for them not to have a sizable number in team all events, which is the ultimate goal for these guys each year.
There's a big wow out of Eric Vermillion after that shot. These guys started chatting soon.
You certainly always know what Eric's thinking based on his mannerisms on the lanes. I would say that being in the spotlight maybe even calmed him down a little bit. Say that ball LaCaze just threw down the lane looked awfully familiar, Mr. Smith.
Did look like the ball he was using last year on his way to the all events title.
Got Motive Venom Shock.
And we got to see that for about 5 of the 6 games of doubles and singles last year. We had him on Bowl TV as well as the defending team all events champions. And
Tony no longer affiliated with any particular company, so a variety of equipment in his bag.
yeah, so might as well bring the one that got you to the dance. So
And if I'm not mistaken, on Vermillion, it looked like a Burgundy Hammer. New the new burgundy. Shout out to Craig Elliott stopping in to watch a little bit of live streaming on a break from his own live streaming. So Craig, thanks for all you do for support of the sport.
These guys needed to average just a shade over 187 as a team in singles to move ahead of the 93-93 up on top of team all events. And so far showing no signs of slowing down here in singles.
I would say 93-93 is going to be a distant memory by the time this broadcast is over.
They were already at plus 579 through doubles. 33-59 last night, 32-20.
I guess the big question is, you've got back-to-back 10,000s. Is it out there? Is it possible? And if that happened, is it reachable again?
It's always tough to tell. Obviously 10,000 just always a humongous number out there. And you see it for the first time, even the past few years, it's still always a kind of a, whoa, that just happened kind of moment.
Well, especially this year with only 4 teams even being over 3,000 in the team event. That would mean having to go 1,000 over in doubles and singles. Our defending Team All Events champs of Janssens HI, just over 9,100 yesterday with the big single set. Currently second in the standings.
Oh.
Terrific break there for Tuckfield with the 4 and the 9 going down.
What a trip.
A couple breaks like that is what will get you closer to 10,000. But making up for some of those early hits, bad breaks, it all evens out. Thanks everybody for giving us part of your Saturday. Tony LaCaze appreciates it. Big double there for the defending champ.
Needs 802 to move into the all events lead, so that'd be the singles lead as well. Granted, you have to catch up to a few of his teammates. 1260 after team and doubles. Actually low amongst the group. As Tony said, if somehow he could be lucky enough to get 3 in a row, wanted to do it with the team, and right now they're on pace to be doing everything team. Tuckfield wrapped up doubles with 243. Seems to have found the right look here. They're going through a few ball changes early on in doubles. We saw yesterday the Jans HI group having a pretty big singles set. Averaging more than 217 as a team out here after slower start in doubles, and these guys went plus 220 in doubles. So sky could be the limit here. Especially if Tony gets going here. After a long day of not carrying, starting to throw some sticks around.
Tony told me last night after they got done that he really felt like a ball change was possibly necessary earlier, but he was close, and the team was bowling well, so he certainly didn't want to jeopardize any possibilities there, and rode it out for 631, and really all of a team effort, a team player. And now everybody's starting to pile on some strikes here in singles. We saw that yesterday. Lanes opened up nicely. 6 games on the same pair, so they're going to break down. They're going to transition. And the challenge, of course, is staying ahead of that transition, anticipating and making the right moves. All things need to fall together, as you only get one shot at it here each year. Then it's 365 days of what ifs and what could have been.
Mersch getting in on the fun, stone and an 8 pin.
I say, if they want to tally up pins left out there, just 8s and 9s alone. Probably in the triple digits for sure.
Warzinski starting to put up some strikes here after a rough double set. So it's 240s to start.
Novak finding a way to mix him up a little bit better. The light hit, throwing pins against the wall. Not going to leave any 8s or 9s that way.
Don't throw that ball, Tony.
Just gotta wait for the right time.
Just waiting for singles. Here we go.
So maybe the game plan, I'm gonna get him ready, break him down just right, then bust out Old Faithful.
Once again, Vermillion needs 694 for a share of the all events lead. Mersch 26 pins behind him, Novak 36. Tuckfield and LaCaze a little bit further behind.
Back when they won in 2013, Novak 21.53 leading the way. Mersch in the mid-1900s, everybody else around the 2050 mark, so very consistent team. We're seeing that again here in 2015. No doubt making teams at home go out and practice a little bit harder.
All right, looking at a pair of 230s here. .35 from Tuckfield, 36 for Warzinski. LaCaze unable to get the messenger all the way over. Novak going to the bag after the 10-pin conversion. 2 1/4 in the books for LaCaze to kick off singles.
Once again, team all events number on top, 93.93. You guys well past plus 393 with 2 games to go. So it's not going to be if, but by how many. And then the individual all events number up for grabs still, 2062. Vermillion, Mersch, Novak all possible. LaCaze as well. So almost has to be perfect the rest of the way.
Not much room for error for our defending all events champ, but looks like Vermilion's going to put a little bit of distance between himself and his teammates in that run for top spot in all events right now. Mersch and Novak unable to get the first strike in the 10th.
Well, they already got their pictures taken yesterday.
Saves time, yeah.
But certainly looking forward to possibly getting an individual headshot done in their fancy new jerseys. These guys, when they won in 2013, they didn't understand the importance of the Team Pride Award. And then coming back as the defending champs in 2014. All dressed alike and looking sharp out there.
Just one of the few errors we've seen out of the group so far today. Not too many single pins given back there.
So the left-hander, Jeffrey Mersch, carry going away there late in game number 1. Just likely a transition that the right-hander saw a couple games ago. Just catching up now, being the only lefty on the pair. Vermillion finishes off 246. So he's already halfway to what he needs here in singles. Here and calculating out where they're at with 2 games to go.
Well, they're certainly not slowing down. 11-14 to start singles here. They were 11-21 last game, so they actually fell a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they'll be happy averaging 220 every game. But puts them at plus 693, so 300 pins ahead of the previous number. 2 games to go.
A couple strings of strikes, 10,000. Still a possibility here in 2015. A number most thought nobody would even get close to. Guys not wasting any time. 3 for 3 here in game number 2.
Vermillion flexing for the cameras after that one. Saw them cap off their team all events run in 2013 with a 290 game. We actually had Eric chat for a little bit prior to their team event while we were watching Jan's HI. He already mentioned how Tuckfield was actually on a different pair. They finished up a little bit ahead. Gave about 1,000 already through the 4 guys, averaged right around 250. Leaving Mr. Tuckfield in the enviable position to only have to shoot 58 to take the lead. He did that and then some. So the 230 range, I believe.
Pretty awesome day. A lot of emotion, and of course it was still early, but they knew it was a sizable number. got all that they could for sure. And they've been close before, back in 2010. Double success, runner-up finish for Mersch and Vermilya. And to be able to get in that position again and already understand what the weight was going to be like, and of course being able to finish that off with the win. Possibly career-changing moments for all of them. So if you are curious about the standings for this year's event, or even previous years going back to 2005, you can visit the Open Championships page, bowl.com/openchamp, and see what all the winning scores were. You can also see loaded cash numbers going back quite a ways. So take a look. If you have any questions, certainly let us know. Aaron, I pulled up Facebook to see if anybody had any questions for us, and first thing I see, Lucas Wiseman down on one knee. Congratulations, Mr. Wiseman. Danielle's going to make an honest man out of him. Newly engaged Lucas Wiseman.
Indeed, congrats to Lucas and Danielle. Don't worry, folks. Lucas Wiseman will be back on the air in just a few weeks at the Expo and Intercollegiate Singles and Team Championships in Wichita, Kansas, starting April 14th with the singles portion, and then the 16th and 17th on Bowl TV, until we get down to our final two teams on the men's and women's side. The finals will be broadcast on tape delay, CBS Sports Network in May.
So a little bit of a roller coaster here in game two to start. Team Olivet's comfortably theirs. I'm sure they just want to raise that bar as high as they absolutely can. Still a nice crowd on hand, Aaron. Everybody giving part of their Saturday to Junior Team USA support. Our team leaders here at the Open Championships, 33-59, and well on their way to the top spot in Team All events. Check out a recap of yesterday's team event on bowl.com.
course, after all the excitement on social media yesterday as these guys were mowing down the team total, just definitely want to see what works in doubles and singles for them. The ever-popular 5-pin for Vermilya. He got the 4 out though, so that's the important part.
Yeah, we don't see the Aaron Smith leave very often out of these top-tier players. A little more frequent on the ladies' side.
Well, we certainly won't remind Eric that he left a 5-pin on Bowl TV when we talk to him possibly afterwards. So,
well, we'll certainly give our best strategy here in a minute as far as how we're going to attack things after Game 3. Definitely going to talk to LaCaze about this year's title defense. I'm sure we'll want to chat with the team captain as well, get a couple thoughts from him on how they're feeling about the numbers they're putting up here. Novak can't get the messenger to do the dirty work.
I was ready for it right there. That could have been it.
It'll happen, Mr. Smith.
Striking pace has slowed down just a hair here in Game 2 of singles. Communication going all around on 31-2, so I'm sure the plan has been already set. it's a ball change, if it's a move, change and release.
Alright, so if you're not going to make your spare, just strike. That's all.
Been telling you that for ages.
I would be so much better if I didn't have to shoot spares at all. Folks, if you're nearby, you want to come check out some bowling. The convention center, free and open to the public. Come watch some of the best bowlers in the world. Grab something to eat or drink at the Showcase Cantina. Maybe a souvenir for the kids. I have a lot of great teams and great moments coming up here in 2015. So keep an eye on bowl.com. Come on down. If you're not signed up to bowl with us this year, there's still time. It's never too late.
Yeah, Matt Cannizzaro, always available to sign autographs.
Also a fact. Just got to photobomb a couple selfies up here. Gonna be famous. It's probably the only way I'll get my picture taken at the Open Championships.
Your questionnaire is already filled out, so we appreciate the heads up.
Filled it out so long ago, it was on a typewriter.
Back in your day?
Back when I was just a young PR guy.
See, those are the kind of hits you need to get on your birthday. Trip 4 for Warzinski.
Tuckfield with the 4-bagger. Another dominant performance from Junior Team USA support here in 2015, and still pushing that bar up, up, up.
Plus 693 after game 1 of singles for their team all events total. Already 300 ahead of pace. 10,000 out there. They'd average around 230 as a collective 5. Hits like that certainly help. LaCaze, a 5 out of 6 for 225 in the opener. All events still out there for him. We need 802 for a share of the 2062 all events lead. Is 804 still available, so. catch up to the guy on 32 to get it, though. Lay trip on the 9.
There's the fire from Vermilion.
What do they put up in the water there in Minnesota? All those lakes? Something's going right.
These guys definitely have tabs on where they are. They were 359 over coming in. So just needed to be plus 34 today to take the team all events lead. Now they're just piling it on.
A few frames ago, a few of the guys coming up a little light in hits. That didn't take long to get corrected, so once again, communication. A few folks better at it in the game than these folks you're watching on 31 and 2. Once again, from all different parts of the country. Often, this is the only time they get to see each other throughout the entire year. So communication has to be on spot. Unfortunately for Anthony LaCaze, no back-to-back all events titles.
Well, I think with the way things are going, he's probably going to be okay with that.
I couldn't agree more at this point.
Novak back to back on that lane. Ball just wiggling down lane. Kegel ice oil. Whether it's carry down or transition or what's happening. See what his move is next time on the right lane. Flat 7 for Mersch. Good shot, but no, flat on the back.
Novak getting the light hits on 31. Come up a tad short on 32 his last time, 2 times out. Tuckfield 6 in a row after an open in the second. He opened with 235. 268 still available.
LaCaze, a little bit flat on the back as well. So we're starting to see some more transition here late in game 2. Gonna have to make some moves.
But you can see it right there. Novak already talking to LaCaze about that. Looks like we got a ball stuck in the back as well. So.
See some new names in the chat room. Folks, if you're just tuning in, you missed a few great games already, but you can always go back in the archives once we're done here and watch doubles and the start of singles. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith, and we're live at the 2015 USBC Open Championships here at the El Paso Convention Center, Pine Lanes 31 and 32. And we're watching the end of a pretty spectacular Team All Events run here by Junior Team USA Support 1. Already leading the team event with 33.59. And now setting the bar in Team All Events. Tony LaCaze will not repeat as the All Events champion. But I think he'll be okay with that if his team can take the lead in 2 events and go home and start the wait. This year's event kicked off March 7th and will be done on July 12th. So there's going to be some leaderboard watching for sure from Vermillion and the crew in the coming weeks.
Matt, you mentioned some pretty good performances in doubles. LaCaze and Novak moved into 3rd at 13.09. Vermillion and Mersch into 5th, 12.96. No intentions of slowing down here in singles.
Tuckfield rolling here. Having a great singles event so far. Still got 260 out there after a 235 start. Steve Novak's niece, Amber, checking in. Hello, Amber. Welcome.
We are the voice people.
Well, been called worse. But Amber, you tuned in at the right time. A little piece of history here. Can these guys get to 10,000 for the 3rd year in a row? Either way, they're going to be the leaders. But by how much?
Steve finds the right combination on 32 after back-to-back buckets.
Oh yeah, baby. Yes, I believe it was. Not that you needed any help hearing that from here.
Transcribed, not written.
So as we get rolling here through the end of singles, we might turn up the crowd mic and turn down our mics because Eric Vermillion is going to say it all. It might rival the Too Bad we heard back in 2005 at the end of a great Team All Events run. Jeff Riggles and crew had the place to themselves, and you could hear that yell. And their score went on to win that year, doubles and Team All Events.
So a little bit before the age of live stream and social media. in a simpler time in the mid-2000s.
Back in the old days before mock collars.
Tuckfield went through a range of emotions there. First, oh my, and then could it be, and then yes, please.
Talking about the old days a little bit, one of my proudest days as a friend and with USBC back in 2013. Getting the chance to deliver some Eagles to the Florida State Hall of Fame banquet. Of course, Mersch and Tuckfield, part of the team all events winner that year, and John Gaines, John Janowitz, and Brendan Peterson, team champions in 13. So got to go down there and just happened to be in town on vacation and was able to swing by and have that opportunity, and wouldn't mind going down there again. I'm sure Tuckfield and Mersch would be all right with that.
Once again, the ball change. He keeps trying that ball on the fill ball, and why mess with the routine at this point? It seems to be working. 268, 503 at the turn.
Well, we heard a little bit from Chad Oakes yesterday. He's our singles leader at 772, as Andy Bunkowski was making a run. And he was in it with 6 or 7 frames to go. And Chad getting a little bit nervous, but that's all part of the experience here, is watching the leaderboards. And now with social media, there's not many secrets. So word gets out pretty quickly, and now Mr. Oakes, it's time to tune in and watch Matthew Tuckfield.
Tuckfield will need 269 for a share of the lead, a little bit more than Bunkowski had to put up yesterday. Andy needed 245. So Tuckfield just needs to improve by 1 pin. That's simple enough, right?
Well, we've seen it all, certainly in our time here. Great runs, clutch strikes, and a few collapses along the way. Certainly have to earn your success here at the big show. We have a tally for you at the conclusion of game number 2 here, and have an idea heading into game 3 of what we're looking at. Vermelia trying to grab the regular all events lead. Got a friendly gentleman in the chat room. Thanks for tuning in. And goodbye.
First hit gets him into the 220s.
Vermelia solid in the 10th frame.
Make the turn with 2 more at 483. I mean, just 211 in game number 3 for a share of the regular all events lead. She's able to get the next 2.
Well, that makes your story a little bit easier. Tony LaCaze not going to repeat as all events champion, but passing the torch to his teammate potentially.
While still being in the mix for a title 3 years in a row.
There you go. Just wrote half your story for you standing here in the bleachers.
Appreciate that. From way downtown, Vermillion connects.
We have an intimate little gathering here on the lanes and in the bleachers today. Anybody who's not around missing a great show here in person. Amelia clutch in the 10th again. Finishes with the last 5 for 237. .483. All he needs now is a 17 bagger on the back of his singles event, and he'll be your new singles leader. Chad Oakes, 772, started with 17 in a row. Final game coming right up, game 6. Quick shout out to the Midland University bowling team. Rising stars in the collegiate ranks.
All right, looks after game 2 of singles, 1133 puts him at plus 826 in the team all events total, so 1174 to reach the coveted 10,000 number.
Certainly doable. These guys are looking pretty solid here in singles.
And 211 for Vermillion for a share. Of the individual all events league.
So a lot happening, and if you're a bowling fan or you know a bowling fan, definitely get the word out if you want to see the team to beat here in the 2015 Open Championships. This is it. Tell your friends and family, tune in now. Bowl TV. As Junior Team USA Support 1 are making a run at a 3rd consecutive 10,000 tally in team all events, conquering 2 challenging lane conditions here in 2015. And you're watching it live on Bowl TV.
Four for 4 so far. Question in the chat room, if there are only 5 people on a team, how do you get 6 people for doubles and singles? Well, you need 2 for doubles, so Kristen was on the companion team yesterday. She's bowling with Mr. Tuckfield for doubles. Made the change in 2013 to put 6 on a pair for most pairs when we can. Some still have 4 occasionally. But this is the way it works for most teams.
Four out of 5 strike in the opening frame. Again, 1174 is what they need to get to that 10,000 number. Miscue there by Tuckfield, missing the 3-pin.
That'll actually put him 1 pin short if he was to strike out from here, 268. Would be his number, 771, 772. Score up on top. See how these guys respond to pick him up.
Nice break there for Novak. Went light on that lane a few times late in game 2. And now the Brooklyn Squasher. Definitely getting one of those hits back along the way. He hit a couple 4-9s, a 7-9 in doubles. LaCaze mixes him up for the double.
Did you call this squasher?
Indeed I did.
All right. Squasher. Word of the day. Brought to you by Matt Cannizzaro. For more words of the day from Matt Cannizzaro, be sure to follow him on Twitter at USBC Matt.
Most of my words inappropriate for publication. Today's 5 p.m. team squad assembling in the squad room. Getting ready to come out to the lanes in less than an hour. But many of them in the bleachers watching this spectacular display by junior Team USA support. They posted the number to beat last night in Team 3359. And now closing in on the 10,000 mark once again for Team All Events.
Once again at plus 826, 1174 as a team in the finale would get them to 5 digits.
We have a relatively short list of 10,000s in tournament history. Had record numbers last year.
It's fun to watch these guys once they get going too. Certainly not afraid to get a little animated out there.
If we weren't so far away, it'd be nice to hear some thoughts on our broadcast, but we'll have the recap for you on bowl.com later on today. We'll head down there and chat with them after this game. Get all the details for you. Here it comes.
Must be Saturday night because Novak just Bay City rolled that 2-pin.
All right.
No one under the age of 30 got that reference, but I worked it all in there. Bad boy, Stevie. You see the Bay City Rollers, that was a band. They had a song Saturday night. Saturday rolled, he's from Bay City. It all comes around when you put it together.
I got you, Mr. Smith. I never doubted you for a moment. I'm sure when they go back and watch the live stream broadcast and count up the pins that could have been, they will appreciate what you just offered.
For those of you with still have the sound on, I apologize for that. Especially the kids. The kids don't get that. Terry Bigham would have got that.
Well, hopefully Terry Bigham is far away from his computer today, enjoying the weekend. Guys will have the place to themselves to finish up singles. I think it's going to get loud.
Well, they certainly weren't shy to make a little noise down the home stretch as they capped off the 33-59 from last night. So we'll get some of the same here, I would imagine. Striking seems to help that.
Novak and LaCaze both perfect here through 3 frames. $11.74. Very much within reach.
It'd be crazy to think if just looking up at the scoreboard, seeing Tony with 225 and 227 seems like he's put up a lot more than that. Hits definitely were not in his favor early on in doubles and part of singles, but has still grinded out. Has covered his spares and helping push the team's plus total close to that 10,000 mark.
These guys keep things light and fun out there on the lanes, and certainly helps put up the big numbers they do. Or I guess we've seen him throw a whole lot of strikes the last few years, so how could you not be in a good mood about that?
That's true. Forgot to mention Vermilio wearing a white belt today. The average plus minus on your average wearing the white belt, at least 11 pins, so taking full advantage of that.
Question in the chat room: why doesn't USBC allow multiple entries in the Open and Women's Championships? 9 games is just too short, and the tournaments are so fun. Well, we certainly appreciate that you've had a good time on the championship lanes, and here at the Open Championships, certainly more than 110 years of tradition, and I think part of the allure is that you do only get one shot at it each year. Come out and do your best, and then go home and wait and see how your scores hold up, and knowing that you'll certainly get another opportunity next year, but one chance, one time. And makes it even more special and prestigious And at the women's championships, you actually can bowl the team event twice. You can bowl as a sub, so you can get in one extra go at it. But definitely something that's been talked about, but I think to maintain some of that tradition, it's going to stay this way. And you really have to earn it with your one chance.
The new USBC mix also offering multiple entries in team doubles and singles. The event will run alongside the Women's Championships, the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada.
Shaker 7 doesn't cooperate for Novak. LaCaze perfect through 5. Says, I might not be winning again, but I still want my name in the paper. Amelia stepping up, needs 211 for a share of the individual all events lead. Team all events well in hand, and 1174 gets them to 10,000 again. So you're all caught up now. You can sit back and enjoy great shots like that.
He's doing all this cool stuff off screen that we don't get to see. Or we get to see. I wonder if he teaches a class. Celebrating Eagle Runs 101.
You can always send him a message and tell him to keep his celebrations to the camera range. Front and center would be fine, just right there at the foul line.
Halfway through game number 3, but these guys are really starting to feel it here, just rooting on each other. Getting a little louder already here at the convention center.
Well, many believed that some numbers were far less likely this year. I don't want to say impossible, but much less likely. And numbers early on certainly supported that. But these guys putting on a show here. LaCaze stepping up on lane 31, looking for 6 in a row. Mr. LaCaze potentially coming in next year with a 1-ball bowling bag. Question is, will it have wheels or will he carry it in?
Gotta go Big Earn style for that.
No bag. Here comes past Eagle winner Bobby Udseth. Wants to check out the action from high above the lanes. Bobby works over at the Bowlers Journal Championships. He spent some time with this team this week as they competed in that event, just on the other side of the venue. Getting their look at this doubles and singles lane condition, and clearly it helped. It paid off. A lot of strikes up on the scoreboard now. LaCaze 6 for 6. Novak 5 out of 6. Jeffrey Mersch getting in on it now, looking for 3 in a row here. Amelia well on his way. We'll have the unofficial numbers for you when we wrap things up here. Got half a game to go, and then the final recap And all the details will be available on bowl.com later today.
Seven for 7, Anthony LaCaze.
He said, don't forget about me, Aaron Smith. You guys keep talking about Vermillion. You're here because of me.
Once again, 1174 to get to 10,000. Novak, Mersch, Tuckfield, LaCaze, and Vermillion. Vermillion 211 for a share.
211 looking very likely for Eric. Lone left-hander, Mersch just trying to stay clean here. I'm going to turn up mic 3 for this one. Still too early. I think as soon as the pair to the left is done and packed up.
Right now they do have all 52 lanes to themselves, not including center aisle. Nice shot from Kristen there. First strike of game 3. Making the turn at 428. Tuckfield gets to enjoy this one with the whole team.
That's true. They were running in 2013. He was all by himself, but all 10 of them were in the settee area celebrating every shot. They had the lead by the 3rd or 4th frame there, and the rest was all gravy. But not a gravy train with biscuit wheels.
Whoa. Here's LaCaze looking for 8.
Didn't he have the front 10 last game of team event either last year or the year before.
Let's just say he strikes a lot.
Certainly does that. And you can see on the scoreboard, strikes piling on. Nice break there for Mersch to get the 6 forward. Comes Tuckfield's mom.
He finished yesterday with 279, 278 out there today in singles. Still possible for Vermillion. He's going to take all the spots in the super side pot here in game 3.
He got the Lillard 7-pin there for Matthew Tuckfield. Goes down just in time.
.771 still out there, stepping up in the 10th. Will miss the lead by a pin if he throws the final 3.
Well, these guys have all the attention. Still plenty of time. The next squad doesn't come on until 5 o'clock, so plenty of time for the lanes to get oiled. So savor the moment.
Saver 9 for 9.
If it was physically possible to stand on a chair and move the camera, we certainly would.
That would not be safe.
But that could do more damage than good. So you got a front row seat there. LaCaze with the front 9. 1174 is what they needed for 10,000 again. Well on their way. Big double there for Novak. Alright, so we're getting quiet in here. Getting close. Let's hear some of that fire from Vermillion if he can strike here in the 9th. And as somebody pointed out in the chat room, the 159 jackpot. Potential nice payday here.
Definitely not what he was hoping for there.
That one looked way left off his hand, and the 4-7-10 stands. We talked a little bit about their big 10th frames. I'm sure they'd love one of those here.
Mersch picks him up, sets up a double for himself. Get ready for the 10th.
It's hard not to get excited about what we're seeing here, and it's live on Bolt TV, so if you're missing out, or your friends are missing out, let them know. Big final frame coming up. LaCaze with a shot at 300.
Vermillion already in the all events lead.
So much happening. Three strikes here for Tuckfield. Puts him 1 pin out of the singles lead. It's so quiet. We need to turn on our inside voices.
All right, by my account, 1284 still out there.
Well, big shot there for the birthday girl, Kristen Wierzinski. Finishing on a big note. Get to be part of this amazing run here in 2015. Tuckfield still rolling. 771 max score. 772 our singles leader, of course. LaCaze won't be far behind. Vermillion already leading regular all events.
So he's at 2064. He can add another 30 on.
Trying to mow down 2100. Tough break in the ninth frame for Eric.
What a show here.
Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, but that dash for Tuckfield was a 3-pin.
That was a 3-pin, yep. He actually opened the second frame of the second game as well. Not sure what that was. I do not recall, but...
So kids at home, spares, very, very important, especially this year at the Open Championships. Could be the difference in a singles title.
Chad Oaks sends his love.
771
Wowza.
for Mr. Tuckfield.
Unofficially 2048 in the books for Tuckfield. There's some.
I don't know, Mr. Smith. Somewhere, somebody's starting to say the word dynasty.
It's gone from dominant to dynasty already. Tony LaCaze, 10 frame. And of all things to end his run, a familiar foe today.
9-pin pestered him throughout doubles. That one a little bit left and mocking him from 60 feet away.
Once again, finishing strong. Tuckfield, all three. Double for Novak already. LaCaze did enough striking early on in the game. 279, still not bad. He's going to be in the 730s with good count here. .247 for Novak. Gives him 650 on the nose. .1988 unofficially for LaCaze in his title defense. 1982 for Novak. Here's Vermillion, already in the all events lead. Doesn't get the forward trip there. Late trip on the 8 for Mersch. Talk about a finish here by Junior Team USA support number 1. 2080s out there for Vermilion still. We'll get a few thoughts from him. Talk to Tony. Have to make sure the leaderboards are okay after this. .2083 for Vermilion. 621 for Mersch. We'll run some quick numbers here. Looks like 1963 for Mersch. Unofficially, by my tally, 10,064, your new team all events leader, as well as Vermilion up on top of all events 2083, Tuckfield 2048, LaCaze 1988, Novak 1982, Jeffrey Mersch 1963. What a performance today by Junior Team USA support number 1, Mr. Canizaro.
Fantastic day here at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. Big scores that some thought we would not see here in 2015. And a very talented group, a very emotional group now, has found their way to 10,000 for the 3rd consecutive year. And Tony LaCaze said it best just now. I like our chances. Certainly going home with the lead in 2 events. 3 if you count Eric's all events. A spectacular performance. They are the team leaders, 33-59. Team all events, unofficially 10,064. Unbelievable. Vermilion taking the top spot in regular all events. That's going to do it from the El Paso Convention Center today. We'd love to have the guys come on and talk a little bit, but a little bit far away at this point in time. But we'll catch up with them on the lanes. We'll have a recap for you on bowl.com later today. If you missed any of today's broadcast, you can go back and watch it on the archives on Bowl TV. And hopefully you won't miss the next one, because you missed some great moments here from the El Paso Convention Center. Again, new leaders in team all events, and regular all events. Junior Team USA support one from Las Vegas. Folks, that's going to do it for today's broadcast. We'll be back on the air with you on April 10th. Motion Plus lanes coming our way. Actually, Eric Vermilion coming our way. How about that? So we're going to hold off on the goodbyes here for just a minute and get a few feelings from our new leader. And here he comes, putting on the headset. We'll watch the scoreboard here for another couple of minutes. And here he is, Eric Vermilion. Unofficially, we've tallied the numbers, 10,064. 10,000 for the 3rd consecutive year. You guys put on a show, hit some numbers that some thought we weren't going to see here in 2015. You're the all events leader, again, unofficially at 2083 team event, 33-59, 200 pins better than our previous leader. Can you sum it all up for us?
I'll try for you, Matt. Honestly, coming into today, we kind of had a game plan, and, every single game we bowled, our entire goal was just get to 10,000. We were barely even watching our singles and doubles numbers. We realized in the 10th, Tuck was going to be like one shy of taking the lead in singles, but, we were just looking at 10,000. And, I kind of knew I had a crack at all events. I really didn't even know what was leading, honestly. We were just so focused on 10,000. And, we had our game plan. We fought early on in doubles. They were very challenging, and we stuck to our game plan. We all pick each other up. It was just amazing. Our teamwork this week has just been, I literally can't describe it. I'm almost in tears just even talking about it.
All right, so definitely an emotional experience for you guys. And you mentioned doubles being a little bit challenging. A lot of 4 pins, 9 pins, 4 pins, 9 pins, 4 nines, 7 nines. Carry a little bit of a challenge, and potentially you mentioned Tuckfield 771, a 3 pin, possibly the difference in a singles title here. Of course, we always tell the folks spares very important, and you guys you kind of carried a few things along the way too to balance it out a little bit. But amazing overall.
Yeah, we definitely, early on we had a few bad breaks. We had a couple 4-9s, that 7-9, but we definitely got a couple back later on. I mean, our hits definitely evened out, but at one point I wanted to yell back up here and see if we could get flatter and heavier pins for next year, because we just couldn't knock them over. But eventually they started to fall for us, and we certainly did miss a few spares, no doubt about it. I kind of fought it all day. I don't know what my problem was early on. I was kind of throwing everything about 2 boards right at where I was looking. But and then I just kind of forgot how to bowl for a game there in doubles. But my team was there for me every step of the way. Every time someone missed a spare, we threw a 4 or 5 bagger right after it and picked them up, and it was just we did what we needed to do.
All right, the previous leader in team all events, 93-93. It's still early. We're only a month into the tournament, but to beat that number by 700 pins, heard Tony screaming when it was all over. That's got a chance.
It does.
How are you guys feeling walking out of here? You've done this before, 2010, again in 2013. What is the leaderboard watch going to be like for the next couple months?
It's I'm really looking forward to it, honestly. As I've said a few times, and when we had the lead in doubles in 2010, it was just really nerve-wracking and almost frustrating, and I just wanted it to be over. And then we were overtaken, and there was a lot of disappointment there, and it ended up being motivation. And then when we took the lead in team all events in 2013, I was, I more embraced it, and it was part of it, but it was still really nerve-wracking. But now we have an eagle, so it's now we're just looking to add to it. But honestly, I'm more nervous for Tony. He's got 2 pops at being the second person ever to win 3 years in a row. That's just an unbelievable thought. It's crazy.
Well, just to recap, you put this team together. It's been it's changed a little bit over the last 10 years or so. But most of the faces in place throughout that run, you're well over 220 in your career average. Of course, the things that you guys have accomplished. If Tony can't win all events, he's now passed the torch over to you. And the team event, team all events. He said yesterday if it was going to happen again, he would love for it to happen with the team. Certainly a lot of potential. Can you just sum it all up before you walk out of here today?
Honestly, I can't thank my team enough. All 10 of us, our companion team is utterly amazing. They were there for us every step of the way. The 5 guys I got down there, or the 4 guys I got down there with me. I tried a ball change on my fill ball the last shot of doubles that I wasn't going to try. I didn't want to. Steve talked me into it, and I did, and I used it all the singles. It was he said try the burgundy hammer. I think it's going to be good. And it was great. I mean, every one of us know each other's games so well. We have complete trust. It is just a surreal experience.
All right, folks, they come from 4 different states, and they meet at the Open Championships every year, but they do their homework from afar, practice, and communicate. You see it on the lanes after every shot, and now they're leading in 3 events here at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. That's going to do it for today's broadcast. Thank you, Eric Vermelia, our new all-events leader, 2083 unofficial. Let that sink in for a minute, folks, and we'll be back with you on April 10th with our next talented group of players. And now they have some bigger numbers. They're going to be out there practicing a little bit harder as the days count down. So we appreciate everybody stopping by today on Bowl TV. And that is going to do it. We'll see you soon. That is the news for now, Mr. Vermelia, and we'll see you on the lanes.